It's not possible for us to actually start from there. We put more pressure on them and, make them do what they're supposed to do. For instance, the federal government will say that they've done quite a lot. They've formed NDDC, they formed the Ministry of the Niger Delta, they have the cleanup agencies looking after environmental pollution. It seems like they're putting things in place, but we're not patient enough for these things to actually get off the ground.
I think, again, I will disagree with the word patient. Of course, we're not patient, and we don't want to be patient. Why should we be patient? For as long as I remember, for years back, there has been spillage, oil spillage, and it's getting worse. And to say that my people should continue to live with this spillage, lack of clean. I grew up drinking from a well that was dug by my grandfather in his compound. I grew up in Abonima drinking from that well in the 50s and 60s, and now I can't even wash my hands in the water that comes from that well. That is the level of pollution that my people are enduring. When you mention Niger Delta Development Commission and you mention the Ministry of Niger Delta, the Ministry of Niger Delta, for instance, has no business building the East-West Road. For instance, the East-West Road is a federal government project, has been for years. They take money, they don't do anything. So these agencies, all of the time, are agencies that are set up. We have issues about abuse of human rights, extrajudicial killings that are going on a daily basis in the Niger Delta. As we're complaining now, tomorrow they will set up one body and say that this is looking into extrajudicial killing, and nothing will come out of it. So we're not impressed with any of these agencies that are being set up.
The question is, how do we begin to get things to come out of these things? It's not enough for this. If the federal government says, okay, we've done this, you've cried out to us, we've done this, how do we begin to make sure that those things that have been set up work and work how they're supposed to?
Well, it's up to us. And if I am trying the best as one person that I can on behalf of myself and my people, we need more people to be bold, to be brazen, to come out and make these demands. I am making such demands. I am saying that they should stop exploring for oil and gas. You see, the problem is corruption. Because my people are so neglected and so poor that any breathing space, whether it is 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira, whatever it is, that can confuse us for a little while, to give a time frame to the federal government and the oil company to continue like this. The bottom line is that it is up to the Niger Delta people. It is up. This is some of the things that we saw on Monday. These are people. The one that you just saw is somebody's fish pond in the Niger Delta in a place called Calabar in Bayelsa State, and the representatives of these people at the Senate level, at the lawmaking level, at the local government, at the state House of Assembly level, they don't ever go to see these things, and yet they collect millions of naira every single month in the name of this particular man said that his fish pond cost him 1.8 million naira. And when you look at a man like that, Shell will say that they are giving loans, soft loans to people. Let us take, for instance, that he got the loan from Shell. It is this same Shell that has polluted his fish fund. And tomorrow we will be told that our people are lazy, that our people cannot fend for themselves. How can you fend for yourself when where you have eked out a living, an oil company comes along in the name of exploring for oil and gas and bastardize your environment in this manner?
And some of the publications talk about the challenge they face with cleanup. They say that they will not let them clean up. Residents, youths in the area always just put up this sort of resistance. What can you say about that?
As always, the facts are misrepresented. First of all, Shell always says that every spill, literally, Shell claims that 80% of their spills are sabotage. That is not true. We can't deny that there are issues of sabotage. But you see, if you want to solve a problem, you must get to the cause of that problem. when there is a spillage and it takes a week or 2 weeks for them to come to the point of the spill, this is a strategy that oil companies have developed, but Shell is a master at this. They are not allowed into Ogoniland, for instance. When spills occur, and I always talk out of factual experiences. There was a spill in Yola in Ogoni in 2001 or thereabout. Now, because they were not exploring in Ogoniland, when that spill happened, it was a major spill. They let it gush for weeks. And they do this because they are not allowed to go into Ogoniland. So it's a vicious reaction that Shell portrays against the people of the Niger Delta. Now, when they don't come till 2 weeks, a week later, there is no human being that first and foremost would not have a reaction of, why are you coming now? You understand what I'm saying? Why are you coming now? So sometimes they have those type of reaction. But in the majority of the cases, in more than 80 or 90% of the cases, the people immediately alert Shell. It is when Shell has not reacted that they contact people like myself, people like ERA, to come and see what is happening and highlight it. And immediately Shell hears that ERA or Agape Birthright and Annkio Briggs is at a site or is going to a site. That is when they begin to react. So for them to say that they are having security issues, how can you have security issues? You're going in there, you're going in with maybe 5 technicians and experts, and you have like 20 mopole stroke military people. You have 2 truckloads, 5 helices, 3 helices of armed men going with 5 people. How are the community people now going to stop you? So you see, the facts are always misrepresented in the Niger Delta. And this is why we must highlight what is being done today in this manner in which I am doing it. If Shell, I throw this challenge to Shell, if Shell believes that they are having problems or that they are going to have problems, then they should, I leave myself open. They should contact me. I will go with them. They should contact ERA. I am sure ERA will go with them. Let them stop saying that the community does not allow them to go in, because you see, they are already seen as enemies of the people.
It reminds us what happens, because once we had issues and they started having community liaison officers, the CLOs. Don't they exist anymore?
The CLOs have always existed, but unfortunately, and this is out of experience and facts, the CLOs are not used properly in the way and manner in which they should be used. For instance, you have a CLO, and the CLO is handled in a way by Shell that he is made to understand that he is working for Shell, and that it's the Shell that is paying him, because he's not being paid by the community. So whatever he does cannot be in a disadvantaged position for Shell that is paying his salary. Like this community I visited, one of the affected people in the community is actually known as the security operative for Shell of their pipelines in the community. He also has a fishing pond, a fish pond, and he also was affected. But he told me that he could not appear on camera. Why? Because he is employed by Shell. When Shell employs 2-3 people in a community, they immediately bring the community to loggerheads, because if you go into the community, they will highlight things for you. They don't get scholarship, they are not employed, they are not they don't have clean drinking water,
even if they are qualified.
They are not, yes, they are not compensated, and all those type of things. So when you now pick 1 or 2 people in a community where everybody is poor, in a land where in the land of the blind, a one-eyed man is a king. Yeah. You know, so that is the strategy. and psychology that is being applied in the communities. And really, if you're a human being, you really cannot blame the people. The communities have been placed in a catch-22 situation. The federal government has failed them, the state government has failed them, the local government has failed them, and the oil company is abusing them.